The Whispering Corners, America's lost motel horror. Have you ever driven late at night through the endless American highways, the ones where gas stations look abandoned and neon signs flicker as if they are breathing? If you have, then you know the feeling, that uneasy silence, that cold knowledge that if your car broke down, no one would hear you scream. But there is a place deep in the United States, never marked on maps, where travelers sometimes check in and never check out. Locals do not speak of it openly. It is called by many names, but the most common is the Whispering Corners Motel. The story begins in 1961, on a rain-soaked highway in Kansas. A truck driver vanished after reporting a motel that no one had ever heard of. His last CB radio message was chilling: "Rooms here aren't empty. Walls are talking. Something's inside." Search parties found his truck, abandoned on the shoulder. The keys were still in the ignition. The cab smelled like decayed wood and iron, but there was no sign of him. Since then, strange reports have surfaced: college students, hitchhikers, even families on vacation. All described the same place, a two-story motel with a flickering neon sign that read, "Rooms available." The strangest part: no two people ever agreed on the location. Some claimed it was in Texas, others swear it was in Ohio, and a few even said it moved with the roads, like a predator that hunted those WHO drove alone. Inside, the rooms were never clean. The wallpaper peeling, the bed sheets stained, the air filled with a thick odor of rot. But the most terrifying detail: every room had a mirror that didn't reflect what it should. People WHO stayed described seeing themselves, but twisted, eyes too wide, mouths smiling when they themselves were not. Sometimes the reflections didn't move at all, just stood there, staring back, breathing. And if you stayed long enough, the reflection stepped out. Witnesses claimed to hear voices whispering their names through the vents, coming from the walls, coming from the floors. A sound like fingers scraping against metal. Late at night, the doors would unlock themselves, and shadows would slip inside. A few WHO survived long enough to escape said the hallways were impossible to navigate. Every turn led back to the same hallway. Every exit led to another door. It was as if the motel itself was alive, breathing, and it did not want you to leave. In 1978, an entire family of 4 was last seen entering such a motel in Oklahoma. Police searched for weeks, found nothing. No motel existed where they had been reported. Yet their car was parked outside an empty field. Keys still in the ignition. Radio still on. Inside the car, 4 suitcases, all packed. In 1993, a group of friends traveling through Nebraska recorded footage on a handheld camera. The video begins normal, them laughing, joking. Then they show a neon sign, "Rooms available." They enter, film the hallways. But then the footage shifts, voices in the background, static growing louder. The final frame shows a mirror. In the mirror, there are 6 people. But only 5 friends went inside. The tape ends with screams. The camera was found years later in a thrift shop. The friends were never found. By the 2000s, the internet was filled with stories. Reddit threads. Late-night forums. Everyone had heard of someone WHO vanished at a motel that wasn't supposed to exist. Some claimed the name Croton was carved into doors. Others swear that if you looked closely at the sign, the words sometimes said "rooms taken" instead. No investigator has ever proven the motel is real. Yet police records show over 300 unsolved disappearances on rural highways matching the same pattern. Always night. Always rain. Always a motel that isn't there in the morning. Some believe the Whispering Corners Motel is a ghostly trap, a residue of all the blood that was shed in the early days of America's highways. Others think it is a portal, a thin spot between worlds, where something predatory crosses into our reality to feed. Whatever it is, one rule is constant: once you check in, you do not check out. So next time you are driving across the United States, late at night, and you see a neon sign flicker in the distance, remember this story. Remember the truck driver. Remember the family. Remember the friends WHO filmed their last moments. And if you see a motel called the Whispering Corners, drive faster. Do not look back. Because if you stop, if you step inside, if you see your reflection smiling back at you, it's already too late. This is the story of the Whispering Corners Motel, America's horror that still haunts the highways.